Hi, you all. It's Miss Wilson for reading. So, we're moving on from informational text back to fiction stories. And I wanted to review with you all the difference between informational text and fiction text. So, in informational text, it's organized by text structure, like we've been learning about the past few weeks: problem solution, compare and contrast, description, cause and effect, and sequence. Fiction text or stories use story elements such as setting, where and when a story takes place, characters, the people or animals in the story, the plot, which is what happened or the events of the story, and the theme, the big idea of the story that is seen throughout the characters, setting, and or plot. So some theme examples could be love and friendship, person versus nature, survival, courage, good versus evil, honesty, family, perseverance. So the theme is kind of just that underlying message. It can also be called the moral of the story or the central idea. They're all pretty synonymous to each other. They all mean about the same thing. So the first thing you're going to be looking at is a pair of texts. We're going to be working on comparing two similar stories. And when you compare them, you're going to be looking at a certain aspect. So after you read or listen to the text, you're going to answer the questions down here at the bottom. What is the setting of each story? So remember that the setting is where the story takes place. So you have these little highlighting tools here. And when you find the setting, wherever it is, you can set it down and expand it to cover as much of the text that you want to show for the setting. Okay. And then you also have a second question on this one, and it's how does Becker act the same in both settings? So not only are you paying attention to the setting, where the story takes place, you're also paying attention to the character, Becker, and his behavior in both locations, in both settings. Then for the next slide, once again, you have two similar texts. You can read them or listen to them. This time you are looking at the plot. Okay, so what are some important events that happened in the stories? And it says, describe how the plot is similar or different in both stories. So you have, once again, these highlighting tools over here. You can drag and cover up as much text as you want, showing important events. What important events happened in both stories? And then you're going to answer the question by stating what was similar and what was different. Then for this slide, once again, you are comparing two texts. They're both similar stories with a lot of the same characters. And this time you're paying attention to the theme. So what was the overall message? Now, it may not tell you the message directly. It may say something that you use to infer the message or the theme. So whatever text clues, whatever you read that helps you understand what the theme of the story is, you're going to highlight with this yellow rectangle here. And remember, you can drag and drop it wherever you want. You can grab the green square and make it larger. And then you'll be able to show where you got that idea, where you got that information, and then answer the question. And remember, you're going to describe how the theme is similar in both stories. So once you figure out what the theme is in both stories, then you're going to tell me how you know they're similar. Then you have a compare and contrast similar stories where you're going to be looking at all of those story structure elements and answering on the next page. So you're focusing on the characters. You do not have to write in complete sentences when there is a bullet point. So you can name characters that were the same, characters that were different, or maybe how the character's behavior was the same or how the character's behavior was different. Then you're doing setting and the plot and ending. So important events and the ending of the story. How are they the same? How are they different? You have little highlighting tools over here to the left. You can use those to highlight text to help you stay organized and to show that you are going back in the story to find text evidence in order to answer these questions. That is everything you have for reading this week. So I hope you enjoy these stories and have a great Monday.